Breaking. Welcome to today's news. Here is the headlines. 5 reasons many are calling for release of Nnamdi Kanu from prison before 2027 election. 5 reasons many are calling for release of Nnamdi Kanu from prison before 2027 election. To my dear listeners from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news, and please do ensure you like, subscribe and share. The continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has been a subject of national controversy, sparking intense debate across Nigeria. Kanu's detention has remained a sensitive issue, particularly in the southeastern region, where several political leaders have persistently called for his release, citing concerns over the escalating security challenges in the area. Among the prominent voices advocating for Kanu's freedom is Labour Party's presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, who has repeatedly urged the federal government to consider releasing the IPOB leader. The appeal for Kanu's release comes at a time when the security situation in the southeast has deteriorated, leading to widespread calls for action to restore peace and stability. In a significant recent development, governors from the southeast region have resolved to meet with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to discuss the possibility of Kanu's release. This initiative highlights the growing regional demand for a resolution to the matter, despite comments from the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, who has described the charges against Kanu as complex and insists that the matter can only be resolved through a competent court of law. The increasing calls for Kanu's release have led to widespread discussions on why his freedom is considered crucial by many stakeholders. Below are 5 key reasons why various groups and individuals believe Kanu should be released, focusing on human rights, dialogue and peace, legal fairness, political stability, and public sentiment. Human rights concerns. Nnamdi Kanu's prolonged detention has raised serious human rights concerns among activists and international observers. Many believe that his fundamental right to freedom of speech and assembly have been unjustly violated. International human rights organizations have weighed in on the matter, advocating for Kanu's release and emphasizing the importance of fair treatment under the rule of law. These organizations have urged the Nigerian government to ensure that Kanu's case is handled in a manner in a manner consistent with international human rights standards, adding pressure on the authorities to address the situation. There is a growing belief that releasing Nnamdi Kanu could pave the way for meaningful dialogue and contribute to a peaceful resolution of the long-standing issues in the southeastern region. Proponents of this view argue that Kanu's release would de-escalate the current tensions and open the door for constructive conversations between the Nigerian government and pro-Biafra groups. They believe that engaging in dialogue, rather than relying solely on legal and military means, could foster reconciliation and bring about a more stable and peaceful environment in the southeast, which has seen increasing unrest in recent years. Another significant reason cited by those advocating for Kanu's release is the perceived legal and judicial irregularities surrounding his arrest and detention. Critics argue that Kanu's trial has been fraught with inconsistencies, raising concerns about the legality of his detention. There have been claims that Kanu's rights to due process have been compromised, and that his prolonged incarceration without resolution undermines Nigerians' commitment to upholding the principles of justice and fairness. To my dear listeners,